When the political chessboard flips in the dead of night, my people, you can't act like it's just another move. One pawn can become a king, while another gets pushed to the edge. And that's the sharp twist shaking Nigeria's opposition scene right now. Yes, my people, South-South leaders in the African Democratic Congress, ADC, have sidelined Peter Obi, the former Labour Party presidential hopeful, as Chief John Odigie-Oyegun announces ex-minister Rotimi Amaechi as their choice candidate for the 2027 presidential ticket. It's a unanimous endorsement that's got tongues wagging from Benin to Port Harcourt. In this episode, you will get the full timeline of how this endorsement dropped, the party rules and regional dynamics at play, and what it spells for everyday Nigerians eyeing the 2027 polls. Please like and subscribe to Daily Update for real talk on power plays, because in this country, attention is the fire that forges change. Here is the breaking update, dated February 27, 2026, from a high-level meeting of ADC South-South leaders in Edo State. Chief John Odigie-Oyegun, the former APC national chairman and now a key ADC chieftain, reveals that Rotimi Amaechi, ex-governor of Rivers State and former minister of transportation, had formally briefed the group on his ambition to run for president under the ADC banner. The leaders, after deliberations, gave him their full, unanimous backing. Odigie-Oyegun praised Amaechi for showing respect by consulting the elders first, not just setting up his own structures. He said, quote, "We were very pleased to thank him for the respect he has for the leaders of the zone, for not letting loose in his zone, setting up his own personal structure, by ensuring, like any good son, that he tells his people what he has in mind before he embarks on it." End quote. That endorsement alone lit up the headlines. But then the sidelining of Peter Obi hit like a thunderclap. No direct nod to him despite his strong South-South ties from the 2023 elections. The group emphasized peace and stability in the run-up to 2027, urging the government to avoid violence. They also committed to regular meetings to strengthen South-South unity, positioning the zone as a model for others. No specific reasons were given for bypassing Obi, but the move underscores internal ADC shifts. Upcoming watch dates, the ADC primaries loom later in 2026, with the general elections in early 2027. This has folks confused. Is this a snub to Obi or just regional loyalty? Now, let's go chronologically because the sequence matters, my people. The ADC, or African Democratic Congress, isn't new to Nigeria's political landscape. It's an opposition party founded in 2005, known for pushing progressive reforms and youth involvement. But it's often played second fiddle to bigger players like APC, PDP, and LP. In recent years, especially post-2023, the ADC has been building coalitions, pulling in heavyweights dissatisfied with the status quo. Enter Rotimi Amaechi, a South-South powerhouse from Rivers State. He served as governor from 2007 to 2015, then as transportation minister under Buhari till 2022. He's credited with infrastructure wins like the Lagos-Ibadan Rail, but also faced controversies over party infighting and corruption probes that went nowhere. Amaechi jumped to ADC after tensions in APC, eyeing a presidential run. Peter Obi, on the other hand, exploded onto the scene in 2023 as LP's candidate, galvanizing the obedient movement with his anti-corruption, pro-youth agenda. From Anambra roots, he built South-South support through grassroots rallies in places like Delta and Bayelsa. This story started brewing in late 2025 when ADC talks of a mega coalition surfaced, including figures like Atiku, Obi, and Amaechi. Whispers of regional endorsements grew, but on February 27, 2026, it crystallized. Amaechi visits the South-South leaders, briefs them, and walks away with their stamp. For some Nigerians, this looks like a homecoming win for a son of the soil. For others, it's a betrayal of Obi's momentum, sparking debates on whether ADC is fragmenting or strategizing. Online, emotions are high. Obedience feels slighted, while Amaechi loyalists celebrate. The build-up, months of quiet lobbying with Odigie-Oyegun, a veteran from Edo with APC history, steering the ship towards unity.
So, what are the rules and laws at play in plain language? First, party endorsements aren't magic. They are guided by the ADC's constitution and Nigeria's Electoral Act 2022, which mandates internal democracy in candidate selection. No one gets a ticket without primaries, but regional caucuses like this South-South group can influence delegates heavily. Second, in coalitions like ADC's push, loyalty to zone matters. The South-South, with its oil-rich states, often prioritizes candidates who understand Niger Delta issues like environmental degradation and resource control. Amaechi's Rivers background gives him an edge there, while Obi's Southeast base might seem less local. Third, the Constitution emphasizes fair play, no coercion, just consensus. Odigie-Oyegun's group invoked this by stressing Amaechi's respect for elders, a cultural nod that resonates in Nigerian politics. And finally, with 2027 approaching, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) rules require parties to submit candidates by mid-2026. So these early endorsements are like laying bricks. They build momentum but can crumble if primaries go sideways. It's not about favoritism. It's the gritty game of alliances where one region's vote can swing the national tide. No bias here, just the mechanics ensuring no one rigs the process outright. My people, here is the rhyme for the middle of this story. Politics no be child's play, but elders they call the shots. When the river bends, the fish must swim or get caught. If the drum beats wrong, the dance go scatter. Na so South-South they talk, and talk them they do. Online, supporters of Amaechi are hailing it as a smart zonal strategy, saying his experience trumps Obi's hype. Critics, especially Obidentians, call it a short-sighted snub, questioning why overlook a unifier like Obi amid economic woes. Others point to the coalition cracks, laughing that ADC might split votes like in 2023. The divide is sharp because Nigeria has danced too long with fractured opposition, powerful egos clashing while the masses suffer. This endorsement fuels the fire. Is it progress or just more elite games? Now let's bring it down to the real-life stakes for everyday Nigerians. For workers and traders in Lagos or Abuja, hustling amid fuel hikes and inflation, this isn't just political gist. It's about whether opposition unity can challenge the ruling party or if fragmentation hands them another term. A market woman in Ojota, worrying about rising costs, wants leaders who fight for Niger Delta cleanup, not endless endorsements. A civil servant in Port Harcourt eyeing pensions and security craves proof that ADC isn't just theater for 2027. And young Nigerians, like the tech hustlers in Benin, trying to stay hopeful, need evidence that the system rewards competence over connections, no special treatment for big names. The wider implications for governance is huge. Amaechi's nod as a son of the soil symbolizes regional pride, but sidelining Obi raises questions on inclusivity in a diverse nation. If ADC pulls this off, it could reshape opposition dynamics, messaging that accountability reaches even ex-ministers. But the party must prove competence now. No sloppy alliances, no reckless leaks, no delays that you no trust. Incompetence here doesn't just flop one candidacy, it shatters hope for real change. So, here is the sharp question for you to answer in the comments. Should regional leaders prioritize sons of the soil like Amaechi in endorsements or go for national unifiers like Obi, no matter the zone? Because that single question is the battle line Nigerians are drawing right now, and your local perspective matters. Around Edo and Rivers, residents are watching these meetings like a national derby, with security details spiking. Legal observers and civic voices ask if ADC can pursue unity without overreaching, and if defenses against vote splitting hold. Even transporters and small business owners near party HQs feel the ripple. Every big announcement shifts the atmosphere. People want stability, but justice that feels real, not rigged. Let's close with what is verified and what to watch next. Verified. On February 27, 2026, ADC South-South leaders, led by Chief John Odigie-Oyegun, unanimously endorsed Rotimi Amaechi for the presidential ticket after his briefing. Verified. Peter Obi was sidelined in this move with no explicit reasons given, amid calls for peaceful 2027 polls. Watch points. What conditions the ADC national body imposes on primaries, whether Obi counters with his own coalition push, and if this sparks broader opposition mergers without sacrificing due process. Final proverb, my people. When the elephant fights, it's the grass that suffers, but if the ants unite, even the elephant trembles. Subscribe to Daily Update. Drop your comment on zonal loyalty versus national vision and share this video so opposition drama doesn't fade in silence.